Hey guys, it's Abhiram here. Welcome back to another episode of DRIVETERRAIN. Well, we live in a modern world, a world where things like sustainability and saving the environment have become things of utmost priority. Well, as a result, automakers are moving towards electrification. We are downsizing engines, we are reducing displacement, adding new technology like turbocharging, moving to hybrids, and even automakers have set ambitious electrification goals. Amongst all of this, Lexus still makes a 5-litre naturally aspirated two-door GT coupe, the Lexus RCF. So the RC in the RCF stands for Radical Coupe, well, whatever that means. But what this basically is a two-door coupe version of the IS sedan. Now the IS sedan itself is now nearly 9 to 10 years old. It's got a facelift. This has got a facelift as well. Even this car was revealed in 2014, and yeah, it's nearly 10 years now since the RCF has been out, and it still is an old school blend of luxury and performance, a proper GT coupe. And yeah, today we'll be having a detailed look at it, take it for a drive, and of course, you can enjoy some sounds of that beautiful 5-litre V8 under the hood. By the way, it's the same V8 that comes with the LC500, so yeah, it's quite a treat for the ears. So let's talk exterior styling on the RCF. Well, this is the facelifted model, and personally I like this facelift much better compared to the pre-facelift model. You get these new LED headlamps, the 3-eye bi-beam as they call it. So it does come with LED DRLs as well. Looks quite sharp and imposing from the front. You do get the Lexus spindle grille as well, which is obviously a signature Lexus design element. And overall from the front, it does look quite muscular, and look at me. I mean, yeah, it does look quite good from the front. And also you do get these hood vents inspired from the LFA, or at least that's what they call it. And by the way, it does have a cover underneath which can be removed in case you want improved airflow for track performance. So yeah, you get this very long bonnet in the front, and it does look quite muscular from the front as a result. It's when you come to the side profile of the RCF that you really start to appreciate the design that Lexus have done on it. And it is quite nice. You get these very sharp creases and lines that merge from the bonnet and the fenders into the bodywork, the doors. It looks quite striking and attractive. You do get the F badge over here as well, and actual functional aero vents, which is quite nice. And you also do get these cool looking 19-inch forged alloy wheels. It does come with the 4-piston Brembo brakes as well. So the brake calipers are actually painted in an orange shade, metallic orange with an F badge on it. Looks quite nice. And the tires on this car, by the way, are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. So it's exactly what you need for this kind of car. But as for the mirrors, they are auto folding with electric adjustment. Just get this dual tone finish with the body paint and piano black. Does get a nice beautiful chrome strip as well with LED indicators, so that's nice. Frameless doors, of course, in a car of this segment, you'd want that. It looks quite nice. So as you can see, it does come with keyless entry and go as well. And overall, you start to appreciate that coupe styling when you look at it from the side profile. So yeah, it looks quite nice. Well, coming to the rear end of the RCF, I think it looks much nicer compared to the pre-facelift model again. So you do get this refreshed taillights at the back, which looks kind of similar to the pre-facelift model, but they have added this additional kind of element over here for the indicators. And the way how they've shaped it along with the creases of the bumper is actually quite nice. It does have that muscular wide body look. And you do get the RCF badge over there, Lexus badge. Diffuser elements, of course, which is quite important for your aerodynamics. And you also do get quad exhaust tips, which is pretty nice sounding, as you shall see later on in the video. And most importantly, for the much needed downforce, you do have an active spoiler as well, which deploys automatically based on speeds that you are driving at. But coming to the interior, you do get that Lexus craftsmanship and luxury qualities in here. It is quite premium. You've got these carbon fiber trims as well, which really give it that sporty feel. A lot of leather surrounding most of the areas that you touch. You get this Alcantara finishing over here for the armrest as well. Feels quite nice. You get some Alcantara finishing over here with the contrast red stitching, and overall it does feel like a nice cabin. However, it is starting to age a little bit in here. I mean, this interior is similar to the one that you would find in the IS, and the IS interiors are nearly 9 years old, so you do get some ancient features like a CD player, and even the steering wheel, for example, the cruise control stock is similar to the one that I would find in my dad's 2014 Land Cruiser. But of course, Lexus knows that this interior is aging and they have to keep up with the competition. So they do offer things like a new 10.3-inch multimedia screen, which comes with wired CarPlay and Android Auto. Again, it doesn't matter to me if it's wired or wireless. What I care about is that you do have CarPlay, and it does have that. However, you still have the old trackpad over here, so you do get a hard set menu button, a map button for your inbuilt navigation, which honestly is fine, but again, I just use Google Maps or Waze, so that's for that. And you do even get climate controls as well. If you click menu, you can go to climate and adjust the climate from the screen as well. But again, you do have physical buttons for the climate control, so you do have your AC fan speed and all of those things as actual buttons. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the temperature adjustment, which is this dial over here. It's a bit tricky to use. I mean, once you get used to it, it's fine, but yeah, it's all right. It's fine. You get the hazard button over there, of course the ancient CD player, and this, by the way, does come with a Mark Levinson 17 speaker premium sound system, which does sound pretty good. Again, not great, it does sound good. Do get ventilated seats for both the driver and passenger, again 8-way power adjustable, so the driver side gets lumbar support, lumbar adjustment and memory function as well. How the passenger seat is just 8-way power adjustable. Do get your different drive modes on this side, so eco, normal / custom, and sport S and sport S plus. So as you change the different modes, it does change the color in the display as well. So you do get actually a semi-analog, semi-digital instrument cluster over here, so you get a analog speedometer as well as a digital tachometer, and also you get a display on the side for your different menus. So as you change the different modes, so in Eco it is blue, you do have Sport S, which is this white and red theme. You get Sport S Plus, where things get proper track oriented, so you have your temperatures as well in the middle with your RPM, speed, and your selected gear. Do get 2 cup holders with spring triggers, which is quite nice. Does come with a center armrest which can open like this, and the USB ports for charging are actually inside this. So the way Lexus have designed it is that you actually have a space here through which the cables go through. So you can actually put the cables through there and charge your phone. It does come with the aux port, a 12-volt charging socket as well, 2 USB-A ports, of course, and it's got some decent space. It's all right. And coming to the actual steering wheel, it's leather wrapped. It does feel good in the hand. You do get the F badge over here as well. You even do get the F badge on the headrest, so it keeps reiterating the fact that this is a proper Lexus F model. You do get the blue accents, for example, for the paddle shifters, and even the blue color on the intake manifold in the engine compartment, which is actually quite cool. Again, this all reiterates the fact that it is an F model. And on the steering wheel, well, this is again pretty old now. You do get, however, the buttons for everything, physical buttons. So cruise control again is the stock. Down below you do get your audio controls on the left and your MID controls on the right. Do get your buttons for cruise control, voice assist, and the like. And yeah, it does feel quite nice in the hand. And what else do we have in here? So auto dimming rear view mirrors. You do get sun blinds with mirrors and a light on both the sides. Mirrors and a light. Do get a sunroof. It's actually a 2-step setup, so you have this first flap and then a second flap. Do get a sunroof as well. And one cool detail, which of course is missing in modern Lexuses these days, is the famous Lexus clock, which sits proudly in the center. I think it's one of the last cars in the Lexus range to still have the clock. So yeah, it's pretty cool, to see the Lexus clock proudly displayed in between the AC vents. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you're buying a car like the RCF, you most probably are going to be driving it only, with probably one passenger in the passenger seat. However, if you do have your friends coming along as well, you do have additional space for them at the rear. So let's see how to access the second row of seats. So actually it's quite simple. So just pull this lever right here, fold the passenger seat forward, and it will move forward by itself, as you can see. Just like that. You just lower your head and get into the second row. And once you're done getting in, just pull the passenger seat towards you, and there you go. Yep, my legroom is decreasing, and yeah. So again, not a lot of space at the back, which is pretty understandable for a car of this kind. But again, it's all right. I mean, again, if a taller passenger sits here, then yes, it is going to be difficult. So knee room is just all right. Again, if there's a taller passenger in the front seat, then yeah, it's going to be almost zero. Enough wiggle space for my feet, well, just about. And yeah, not a lot of leg room. The overall space in the back, again, it is a little bit claustrophobic. It's not exactly the most roomy in here. And speaking of headroom, well, yeah, taller passengers really are going to struggle. And however, Lexus have put a few thoughtful things in the back for the rear passengers. So you do get cup holders with spring triggers. It does get a tray as well to close it. It does come with the F badge over there. Two AC vents at the back, which is quite important for our climate. You do get a speaker placement here on the side. It does come with an armrest as well for the rear passengers. So overall, it's not that bad. It does come with a center armrest, which, yeah, you can open it like that. So that's all right. Isofix child seat mounts. So they have done everything they can to make the rear seat livable for those who are sitting at the back. However, yeah, it is best for short trips only. I think, yeah, long trips, the passengers at the back will start to struggle a bit. So what is the RCF like to drive? Well, that question can only be answered by one sound. So under the hood you get a 5-litre V8 producing 471 horsepower and 530 Newton meters of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed Aisin-sourced automatic, and power goes to the rear wheels. Yeah, that is a lot of power just going to the rear wheels. And yes, as a result of that, it does get a bit twitchy at the rear as well sometimes. The one thing about the RCF is that it does combine that sort of everyday drivability that you can actually use it as a daily. So if I leave it in just normal mode, put it into automatic, it's just a regular car. You know, I can drive it in the smoothest way possible, put it into eco mode, and the acceleration is really butter smooth. Even in normal, you know, it doesn't get too eager. You can kind of use the power, put your foot down and not expect the car to take off like a rocket. So it is pretty usable in day-to-day traffic situations. However, yeah, in eco mode, it does upshift quite early. You know, the power is a bit restricted. It really tells you to drive in an economic way. Put it into normal mode and it still is quite conservative. You know, I put my foot down, it still is conservative. Put it into Sport S and starts getting a little eager. You know, it starts getting a bit more Lexus F mode. Put it into Sport S Plus and it downshifts a gear or two, brings the revs above 2000 RPM. And that's when you know that you are ready to go in the RCF. So yeah, you know, in Sport S Plus, the in-gear acceleration is very powerful. In first gear, the response is almost mind-blowing. So I'll just get into manual mode and first gear on an empty road. So you can see that in first gear, it is pretty responsive. You know, the in-gear acceleration, when you put your foot down, yeah, it really does move and you can feel it in your stomach. So that's the kind of power that the V8 really gives you. Alright, let's just go for a relaxed drive. So like I said, it is pretty livable. You know, it's a pretty dailyable GT coupe, and I like it. You know, even the front lip clearance, for example, is not that bad. So I'm coming up to a speed bump right now and slowing down for the speed bump, and it's not that bad. You know, there is some decent clearance for the car, so it's not that low. Now, a lot of journalists, especially when this car came out, complained about the weight. It's kind of understandable. It was heavier than the competition, I believe the M4 at the time. So yeah, it is heavy. However, what it has is emotion. You know, the 5-litre V8, the way it revs all the way up to 7,000 plus RPM, you know, there really is an emotion to it. So if I go down back to first gear, Sport S Plus, so the way it, you know, bangs off the rev limiter, I mean, this kind of emotion you don't get in modern engines. It's just simply amazing. So As for fuel economy, well, fuel economy I'm getting somewhere between 5 to 8 kilometers per liter, which is actually pretty good considering the way I'm driving this car and also the actual 5-liter V8 underneath. So yeah, fuel economy is not that bad. And in terms of the actual comfort, driving comfort, the seats are actually all right. They are buckets, however, it's fine. I did spend a lot of time in it in the long trips. That's when I really started feeling the effect of the bucket seats. But for day-to-day usage, this is all right. It's pretty comfortable. It's covered in nice materials, red and black leather. So overall, it is pretty good. It's 8-way power adjustable. It does come with ventilation and memory function. So it is pretty well equipped. Other than that, well, the steering also feels great. It's got a decent weight to it. Put it in Sport S or Sport S Plus, and it gets a bit more agile. Overall the car starts getting a bit more sporty. But throttle response is the important thing, between the modes. In Eco and Normal, it really restricts. In Sport S and Sport S Plus especially, you put your foot down, it downshifts and takes off. And it's holding on to the gear as well, so as you can see. Whereas you put into Eco or Normal, it just tries to upshift into the highest gear and then just stay there. Other than that, well, for actual visibility all around, it's pretty good. It's all right. There is a little bit of a blind spot here due to the seats and also the coupe effect, but it's all right. You can just look back. You also do get blind spot indicators, so that's great. Safety features, you also do have a reverse parking camera. You do get rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist, or the Lexus lane tracing assist as they call it. But the one thing that I noticed is that the lane tracing assist doesn't work as effectively in this RCF as it does in other Lexuses I've driven in the recent past. So yeah, I think it's more of just like an assist, as in if you really go out of the lane, it will vibrate your steering wheel and then put you back to track, rather than actually keeping you centered. So it's not as effective as I thought. It's not a proper lane keep system. It's more of like a aid, you know what I mean? So the actual mechanical difference between this new RCF and the older RCFs is that the model that we get here, the RCF Platinum, comes with a Torsen limited slip differential. Now I believe on the older pre-facelift models of the RCF, you had an option between the torque vectoring differential or the Torsen limited slip. Now the difference is that the Torsen is a mechanical system, whereas the torque vectoring differential is an electronic system. So you have a TVD button over here, which is not there in this car, using which you can shift the different modes such as slalom, track. So you can see it in Jeremy Clarkson's review where he reviews the RCF. He tries out the different modes. However, it's not there in this car because this comes with the Torsen system. So yeah, again, from what I heard, the torque vectoring differential is useful if you're taking the car on track. But let's be honest, when you buy a car like this, I think most of the usage that you see with it is daily driving. So what are my final thoughts of the RCF? Well, it is an incredible GT. It's very livable. You put it in normal or eco mode, it's just a regular car. And then when you want the emotion of the 5-liter V8, put it in Sport S Plus and it will deliver. So it is pretty good in that manner. Now some people say it's heavy, and I agree, the car is definitely heavy. But again, it doesn't really matter unless you're taking it on the track every weekend. But again, you buy this car as a GT, you buy it for daily driving performance, which this definitely delivers. On road, it's great, it's comfortable, it's got enough power, the transmission is quite responsive, fuel economy is also not that bad, surprisingly. So it's great all round. And I think that's what you want in a GT. You want it to be livable, and this car definitely delivers in that aspect. So yeah, if you've got 385,000 dirhams lying around, go down to that Lexus dealership and get an RCF. Well, we only get a single trim here, the Platinum. So yeah, Alpha Thame Motors will get you one. That's it for my review and thoughts on the RCF. Incredible car. I haven't had this much fun with a press car in a while. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and comment down below which car you'd like to see next. Once again, stay safe, have a great day, and goodbye.